Hello, everybody. I am Mike Dewan with the Region Sports Network, coming to you from Chesterton High School for another 100-yard walk, this time with the Chesterton head football coach, Mark Peterson. Coach, great to be here. First off, thank you for having us, and how are we doing?
Yeah, great. Real excited to be able to meet with you tonight and get a chance to talk about our program. I appreciate you guys coming out.
No problem. It's a little bit ugly tonight, so we'll try and get as much as we can out of you before the rain really hits us. But, Coach, 2025, we will start there. A good start to the season. You guys beat the rivals on this field. It's a tough end to the season in terms of the schedule. And then, kind of that sectional game sneaks up on you. Talk to me about how 2025 went with your ball club.
Yeah, you know what? Going into that first game against Hobart, we were just unsure. We were unmeasured on what we felt like as a coaching staff and probably as a team felt like we were going to be able to accomplish. Had some guys and young guys in some positions, and so we knew we had to see what that was going to hold for us in terms of success and in blocking schemes and up front on defense after some graduation. So giving ourselves an opportunity to get to 5-2 was really fantastic. Hobart played a great game against us. We felt like we let one get away, but 5-2 going into those last three games of the season certainly makes it a lot harder. And then ending up with that loss to LaPorte at the end of the season was a tough one. They came out, played an extremely good game. They played extremely well, and I felt like we missed some opportunities.
And how does that now, Coach? We'll eventually get into a little bit more about 2026, but there's going to be a good group of guys coming back, and we'll talk about that as well. But how 2025 end? How does that kind of build up that fire for now that 2026 squad?
Yeah, we got a nucleus of kids, underclassmen kids that really saw some time with our junior varsity guys, but then also even in some Friday night opportunities that we're excited, really giving them an opportunity to get on the field for this coming season. But our upcoming senior class has a group of kids that also were full-time players for us last year. So, from that perspective, we're excited about them getting back on the field and then being able to build on those successes that we had and be able to really recap, some of our losses, because we felt like we were in a couple of those games too.
What could you say about that senior class from last year? I could only imagine how nice it was, especially to get that win against Valparaiso on this field. But to recap kind of that class of 2025 who will graduate here in June, what can you say about that group, Coach?
Oh, man, what a great group of kids. They really had a great wherewithal. They were great community members. They were really great teammates. With the offensive line guys that we had in Carlos Leon and Braxton Ozug, the graduation of Tyler Nevius, those were kids that had been 2- and 3-year starters for us. And so, we're going to miss those guys. We have some underclassmen that are going to step in, and I know they're going to do a great job, but just really wonderful kids. A couple of kids at the receiver position, and Louis Raffin, and also Gus Wish, but then also in our secondary, Logan Chestovich, is a graduate and going to be graduating here in a couple of weeks. And he was a kid that was a 2.5-year starter for us as well. So a lot of those guys that are graduating, we hate to see go, but, it's part of the whole process.
Yeah, I will say this, Coach. You talked about the offensive skill a little bit last year, and we were very accustomed, at least in the past few seasons, of seeing Chesterton really be able to run the football. While that was partially the case last year with the strong offensive line and rushing attack, we feel like the passing attack might have expanded a little bit more. Talk to us about that and maybe what to expect for maybe in 2026 in that regard.
Yeah, it was a great addition of Hunter Boyd. Came to us in the offseason. And moved back to Chesterton, to Chesterton High School. Had been all the way through intermediate school and middle school, so we were able to have his return. Being able to have him in the program was really a benefit. But overall, generally, the cohesiveness of the entire group was really fantastic. And so I think that was probably one of the primary things that really happened. As far as being able to throw the ball with Andrew Govea, he ended the season as a junior dinged up and had a couple of different injuries again this last season, and still had a great year as a junior or as a senior, but he's going to be a miss one as well. And the year before we had some really big dudes that were able to help us up front and control that line a little bit more, and these guys were a little more athletic and were able to help us with the passing.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Strachan-Manteau was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Strachan-Manteau.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
And now we kind of talked about how we kind of make our way to 2026. We'll talk about the here and now, Coach.
Yep.
I know you guys are in the midst of spring ball, but a lot of dual sport athletes as well.
Yeah.
That guys are kind of flies on the walls. But talk to me about kind of this point here in the off season.
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. So right now we're if we get this in tonight, it'll be practice number 5.
Fingers crossed.
Keeping our fingers crossed.
Yep.
But really the meat of the students and the players that have been at practices have been underclassmen. A lot of freshmen going to be sophomores going to be juniors. Our upperclassmen, we're laden with a lot of different athletes in track and baseball. They're starting in those sports, as well as lacrosse, volleyball. And so from that perspective, we really have a great nucleus of athletes that are participating. When we have these spring practices, we just bring those kids in and ask them to watch. To be there as a leader within the program, but then the underclassmen guys are getting all the reps. So that's really a neat opportunity as well. So, we get some good install, we get some great drills, we do some competition things, and we try and make it fun as well.
Coach, the logo is a big part of this whole interview segment. We always kind of like to stop, take our time, and I feel like it's especially special with you here, Coach. You're one of the longest tenured coaches in the area.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of great things done with this program, and again, it's a place you've called home for quite some time. What could you say about this community, this logo we're standing on, and just what your time here has meant to you?
This is a community, and I know every coach can say this in the state, but this is a community that is unrivaled. The support that they've shown us over the 13 years that I've been the head coach here have been fantastic. Every night we have a packed house when we have home games. Win, lose, or draw, they come back the next week as well in support of the program. This opportunity to be able to play on a field like this, and we call this home, and this is our home place. Every time we break after practice, sometimes we circle up every day before we break into practice, and there's been a couple of times we accidentally circled up before a game and kind of got in a little bit of trouble. But this is something we take a lot of pride in. The Trojan Head and our facilities are fantastic, second to none, and our administration has been hugely supportive of all of our athletic programs, but really even especially of football here. I'm very blessed and very fortunate to have had the opportunity to be the head coach here, but also to work with all the folks in the community and within our school system that we've been able to work with. So it's been fantastic.
It takes a village, Coach, for sure. All right, we'll move along. We'll talk about the summer. Do you guys have any big plans coming up in the summer, gearing up obviously for what's going to be a fun fall? Yeah,
so we have, as you know, we have 5 opportunities that we can get together with teams and have scrimmages. And so very typically we usually only do around 3. You've had Coach Skinner on. We always get together with Andrean. We'll have Coach McKim from Lowell over as well later into July. But we're actually going to have 4 activities this summer, or 4 scrimmages. We're actually going to go down and participate in a team camp down at Indiana State again with Coach Mallory. It's been a couple of years since we've done that, but we have an opportunity to really have camp time, but then also some competition time with a couple of different schools. And then we have scrimmage set up with Concord, so who would be a regional opponent, and been very highly successful the last couple of years. So I'm excited to get some of our young guys some high quality experience, but then also have some opportunities where our upperclassmen can really take leadership
Yeah.
roles and be able to pull some of those guys along, because we're gonna need some of those young guys to step up this year.
Making a summer, the summer schedule, yes, you kind of have those relationships that
Yep.
it's like, okay, let's do this, same time and same place next year. But
Yeah.
you've been doing this for quite some time, Coach.
Yep.
Have you kind of had to change or learn a few things about kind of organizing your summer to where, hey, maybe this summer this thing didn't work, this wasn't that productive with these guys.
Yeah.
Well, this group, hey, it might be best to take on a regional opponent. I guess talk to me kind of how you've grown kind of in the off season as a coach here at Chester.
Yeah, I think as we have gone through the years, we've always tried to have some familiar scrimmages. And Andrean has been one of those. Lowell has been another. Those have been pretty steady for us, dating back to Coach Kilmer being the head coach there. I felt like that was an opportunity for us to compete against a team that was, athletic, could run the ball well, both teams, and could throw the ball if needed. And so, that gave us the opportunity to do that. We don't really compete against conference rivals or anything like that in the summer. But we've also added, so even last year we were down in scrimmage against Lafayette Jeff. We had Lafayette Jeff, Warren Central, and then also North High School in Fort Wayne, North Side. So that was a great day for us as well. So we like to try and add, some of those 6A, really high qualified 5A, in addition to some local teams that we don't normally get to play against, but that we know are going to give us really, we can give each other a really great look and get some great competition that way and remain healthy. The real key going into every one of our scrimmages is to remain healthy at the end.
And what could we say, kind of even fast forward to the regular season schedule? We know week one's always a fun one.
Yep.
The Duneland Conference, of course, will be knocking. And then even going a little bit further, we know there's a little bit of shakeup at the sectional level.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting year. Hobart's has a great return of some really high quality players. And so we're going to have to play at a high level to be able to beat them at home. Then we go to Hammond Morton, and that's always a really competitive one too. We've been very fortunate to have won the last two, and so very fortunate in that regard. But you're right. As we go through the remainder of the conference schedule, it's DAC week in and week out, and it's definitely really highly competitive. Once we hit that sectional, it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to have to be able to play well early on to face Michigan City, and then we bring those other two teams in Hammond Central and then also Munster into that mix. And while we always look at things from our own perspective, I feel positive about what that could mean for us. But at the same time, any team can beat any other team on a given week, so we got to be able to bring our play at the highest level and be able to compete that way too. So it's going to be exciting, and at the same time, it's all a building process, as we know here in Indiana, for those final couple of weeks. So.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
All right, I know you're new here. Red Zone Rapid Fire. We got a couple questions, a lot about you, also about the program.
Sure.
We'll start. Give me your favorite sports movie.
Boy. There's a couple. I would probably say, so football. So I'll date myself all the way back to Brian's Song was a great one. That's an oldie but a goldie. With Sandra Bullock and
The Blind Side.
Yeah, Blind Side. That's certainly a good one. And then right there with Denzel Washington and Got to Help Me.
Of course, Remember the Titans.
Yeah, Remember the Titans. That's definitely right there. So I gave you 3 instead of 1, but those would be ones that stick in my mind.
Those are on the list for sure. What about favorite Chesterton Trojan football or maybe athletic tradition?
Yeah, I think I think together we've done this for 13 years. We come together. That's really the mentality that doing that same kind of thing, usually a little bit further away from the center prior to the start of the game, as a memory that we got to come back and remain tight and remain strong. Family attitude.
That's awesome. Do you have something that you have to do, Coach, to get into the right headspace? Are you superstitious at all, or were you ever in the athletic side of things?
Not really. A little bit of the same music, I guess. Everybody's got that music thing. That's probably one of the biggest things everybody's got.
Well, now I have to hear your music. What's your go-to? You got genres, or
yeah, you start throwing in some AC/DC.
Okay.
And some of the old stuff. You don't want to get too carried away, but there's some of the old rap and so as an '80s guy, some of that early '90s, late '80s rap was very prevalent in the time of when I was playing and still kind of in that headspace. But just really getting excited, getting the kids fired up, and they all have a different mode of which they go about it today. It's so different than years before. But we try and get fired up and have some music blaring so we can get them excited.
I like it. Who doesn't like music? Is there a piece of advice, Coach, that sticks out to you that you have received that still kind of reigns true today?
Yeah. X's and O's are always vitally important, but you can't do it without the players. You can scheme up and have a special pass player, a special run player, a really awesome defense devised for that specific formation. But if the kids don't have an opportunity and aren't prepared and aren't physically in the position that they need to be, then it's probably not going to be successful. It's vitally important that we really take care of and emotionally, physically, and preparation-wise for our kids to be as prepared as possible. The old adage goes, it isn't the X and O's, it's Jimmy's and Joe's, so we've had some successes, maybe won some games we shouldn't have, and definitely lost some games that we shouldn't have as well. But at the end of the day, our successes are dependent upon our kids and how well we play.
And not much of a rapid-fire question, Coach, but I did see that you're big into terms of getting kids internships as well, the director of internships.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, is kind of how that role also ties to maybe what happens here on the football field.
Yeah, it's really good. I think the opportunity over the last several years to be the director of our internship program has been very positive, creating relationships in our community for a lot of our students in the school, not just the football players. In fact, I don't even do anything with our football players as far as placements go. We have 3 of us working on those placements, and we take different departments. But it does. It opens up some opportunities for our kids to be able to have jobs not only during that time of year or a placement that time of year as a senior, but in many cases it opens doors for later on down the road. In addition, the relationships that I've been able to build with a lot of the businesses here in town have been really just astronomical, fantastic. And again, our community is second to none.
Yeah, you said it, Coach. All right, we'll talk. Give me your favorite NFL team, favorite college football team.
So I grew up in Minnesota. I probably got to go with inevitably the Minnesota Vikings.
Perfect colors for you.
I know, right? Inevitably, I always grew up rooting for the Vikings, but still loved the Bears. So I was a Central Division guy, I guess. But probably the Minnesota Vikings. And then also as, who was the other as a player? Was that what it was?
We'll go. I said NFL and college team. But we'll go. Players.
College.
Any players you like growing up?
Oh yeah, Chuck Foreman and
Sure.
Fran Tarkin and all those guys. Ahmad Rashad but as far as the college team, I'd probably default to Notre Dame.
I like it. All
yeah,
right.
Notre Dame, Minnesota.
I like it here. Okay, we'll finish out here crossing the goal line, Coach. Again, any final words about this upcoming Chesterton Trojan squad?
No, just really excited. We got a great group of kids. Going to be exciting to watch, and we'll definitely be inviting all of our community out and everybody in the region to support high school football. I think it's huge. Our Indiana Football Coaches Association is so active in the area and the region. We do such a great job and really excited about seeing what's going to happen this year with not only the playoffs for everybody, but everybody's season. So we appreciate you coming out tonight.
Appreciate it, Coach. No better time in the season for Coach Peterson. I'm Mike DeWan here with the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.